today's video where we continue working on the Kawasaki and troubleshooting the radiator fan not kicking on. So first step is I'm going to be removing the gas tank, and I will check the wiring and make sure that the relay is good and all. So let's get started. It is pretty cold outside. It's like 38, 40 degrees. I think it's below 40 now. So I just got home. I popped the hood because the engine's warm, so it's creating heat. I got this heater going, so I'm trying to stay warm. Let's get started on pulling the tank off and troubleshooting the radiator. So first step is to pull the seat. There's only one screw that holds it. This guy right here, the 10 mil. Let's go ahead and pull it off. And now we gotta take the speedometer off, the whole bezel piece here. There's only one screw that holds it, is this one. And in the back, there's like locking tabs there. So let's go ahead and pull that off. You gotta be careful because there is a speedometer cable right here. This guy wouldn't unscrew. Then we got this harness. It's pretty easy. Press here and then it comes off. This one comes off and that's it. Next up is the fuel system. So we need to undo this hose here. This padcock, the system here is vacuum activated. So when the bike is running, it creates vacuum and it opens a two-way valve, which then feeds fuel into the carb. As long as the bike isn't running, you don't have to shut this off. It will not drip fuel down. So when I take off this fuel line, because there's a bunch of fuel in this filter here, I'm going to use this bolt to plug it up. I'm going to go get some gloves and a rag just in case we spill some fuel. I went ahead and put my rag down here. Let's go ahead and pop it off. And that's about it. Shouldn't be dripping anymore. Yep, we're good. Just gonna leave it like that. Next step, we got two more bolts. We got this one here, and we got this one here. They're both 12 mils. Let's go ahead and take those off. Let's go ahead and take it off. That's it. And And now we have all the components exposed that we need to work on. So now I'm going to drain the system, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to remove this lower radiator hose right here. It's going to drain out of the engine, and it's going to drain out of the radiator. I'm going to get rid of all this antifreeze. Okay, so that seems kind of low on fluid, on antifreeze, I mean. Let's see what the thermostat looks like. We're gonna go ahead and pull this housing apart here. There should be like 2 bolts holding it. This one and that one, I'm gonna pull it off, see what the thermostat looks like. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull this piece apart, see what the thermostat looks like. I don't know, the thermostat doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's got a little gunk on it. It's got this buildup on it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean all this off. So I've decided to just go ahead and pull the radiator off completely. So the things that I'm looking for is a temperature sensor, which is this guy right here. could be bad and it's not sending a signal to the relay to kick in the fan, or just the wiring is bad. So I want to clean the ground right here. I want to pull the sensor off, maybe it's gunked up or something. I don't know. I want to clean all these contacts and see what happened. So I decided to dig a little deeper. I pulled the battery out and I check all the wires here. I pulled this junction box out. It was sitting in here under the under here. It slides in under like that. And upon looking at these wires, I saw some exposed wires. I saw looks like some rats might have been in here, because when I got this bike, it was sitting in a garage for like, I don't know, since 2013. It's been sitting in a garage. And when I got the bike, inside under the seat here, there was like a rat's nest. So I had to clean all that out. But it looks like he's got some kind of back off signal module on here as well. I mean, the lights and everything work on the bike. It's just the fan doesn't kick on. And the signal wire is this blue and yellow wire right here next to my thumb. But it looks fine. I checked it and the wire looks fine. So the only thing I haven't checked is the fuses yet, but I'm definitely going to take care of all these exposed wires. Step is I'm going to pull this little fuse cover off. I'm going to check every single fuse in here and make sure none of them are blown, because it could be the fan fuse that's blown and the fan isn't kicking on because of that. So I'm hoping it's the fuse. Let's pull it off, see if we can figure this out. Okay, it says pull. Oh, here we go. There we go. Oh, nice. Everything is... It still has a nice and soft seal under here. So let's see what we have here. Turntable accessory fan. That's the fan fuse. And the fan fuse, like this, it's going to be this bottom one here. So let's go ahead and pull this bottom fuse. Let's see if it's blown. And these two are spares. I hope it's the bottom one that's blown. And it's not the fuse. It looks fine. Okay, so we found one blown fuse for tail light. That explains why my tail light wasn't working when I hit the brakes. This fuse was blown. So at least we found one issue. Let's replace it with the spare. Spare is good. So after checking all the wires, I've decided to check if the fan itself was good. So let me hook up these two spare wires that I have to the battery here, and we're going to go directly to the fan and see if it works. Yeah, so it's definitely not the fan. The fan works just fine. So it's something with the wiring, or chances are it's this temperature sensor. So for sure, I'm going to change this temperature sensor just to be safe. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull this temperature sensor off. It's a good old temp sensor. Okay guys, so it's the next day, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run some water in here because the thermostat's not in here, so it's easier to flush the system out. So it's going to run water through here. It's going to come out the bottom right there. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let's flush the system from the old coolant. Okay, now that we got this thing all flushed out, next what I want to do is I want to clean the contacts on the temp sensors. There's a big one and a small one, both are temp sensors. So I'm going to go ahead and clean those up, and what I'm going to use is this little wool. It works pretty good. Now I'm gonna pull this fan off. I want to sand it down a little bit, clean it up, and spray it with some fresh spray paint. Make it look good because it's all a little rusty. I want to get rid of that rust. Going to use some of this 150 sandpaper, sand it down a little bit, get it prepped to paint. I'm gonna take this cover off, and I'm gonna hit this cover with some paint as well. So I got everything painted. The radiator, the grill for the radiator. I got the heater going on it because it's cold outside. Hopefully it'll cure. While we wait, I want to go ahead and start working on these wires. This one is not bad at all. It's just surface scratch here. Didn't go all the way through, so I'm going to leave that one. I think that's it. I don't see any more. I checked all of these wires. I don't see any more bite marks on any of these here. They all look good. I think this was it. So there's one more thing that's been bothering me, and it's this rusty piece of splitter. It's a Y splitter. Yuck, this thing is disgusting. Let's go ahead and bring it back to its former glory, I guess. Let's see what we can do to it. Going to hit this part with some sandpaper, do it by hand because it's hard to reach the wire wheel, but overall it's much better. I'm going to throw some black paint on it. There it is, all done and painted. Just going to hang it in front of the heater, let it dry, and we shall continue on. Go ahead and reassemble this radiator and put it on the bike. The thermostat seems to be okay. There's no problems with the thermostat. Clean the housing, clean the thermostat. I use hot water with some dish soap in here. I'm going to use a toothbrush. I'm going to clean it up. And that's going to seal nice. I used some 1200 grit sandpaper, wet sanded this on the flat surface just to make sure this is nice and smooth so it seals up perfectly. So first let's go ahead and clean it up. No leaks so far. Everything's sealed up nice. Yeah, it's definitely taking a lot more than there was in it. All right, let's crank it over. If I wanted to add some more, we'll add some more. Come on. All right, we'll get back when I start it. Okay, so I went ahead and put the tank back on it. Hooked up all the vacuum lines to the petcock and the fuel line and everything. Let's see if it'll start now. I'm thinking it was a vacuum issue, which is why it wasn't starting before. Let's see if it'll start. There it goes. Get it up to temp. I'm going to see if that fan turns on. We'll be back. So after taking the bike for a ride around the neighborhood, I came back and the fan wasn't running. So I changed the positions in these two pins here, switch spots, and it turned on immediately. So we got the fan going and it's working. I don't have to do anything. I'm super happy that it's running and the fan's working and it's doing its thing. It's pulling the bike off. Gotta go ahead and finish off the video today. Thanks everybody for watching.